China. China.
Alrighty there. How's everybody doing? We're gonna be using the wireless mic today, not the Yeti. I got a little sound bar here or soundboard, so every time we find something really bad, you're gonna hear,
China.
or maybe we'll have to see. I haven't decided. Can you guys hear it through the mic? I guess maybe it'd be better if I just did it directly like that. Um, but yeah, I had fun with my Stream Deck here. So, all right. So, what we're gonna be talking about tonight is we're gonna be going into this the power supply issues. So, this guy on YouTube by the name of the Breadboard, he had posted a video about the Ender 3 PSU ground faults. So we're going to go and show you here. So here's his channel. So we're giving him a little shout out here. And this was shared with me by one of our customers, I believe, or it showed up on my Facebook feed. But basically yeah, here we go. Freaking YouTube ads. I should use my other browser because I have YouTube Red. So he's, that's the build. That's not going to be a help to us. So he did the build, and then the next video was him showing how to test. So his power supply actually had, from the ground to the chassis, 10 ohms of resistance, which is insanely high. I actually read that in the EU, the actual largest amount from the ground to anywhere on the product, I believe, is 0.3 ohms. So this is really out of spec. I just realized here that my little thing is not. Hang on one second. I forgot one thing here. Is that gonna work? Hang on. Copy. There we go. I got all fancy with my overlays and stuff. So, anyways, here is the video here. If you want to go watch it, it's Ender 3 PSU ground fault fix. We also put a link to it out earlier today. And seeing as I have a literal stack of stock power supplies from the Ender 3s, aside from this top one, this is a Meanwell, so we're going to show you the difference. I figured let's go through these and see which ones are bad. So let's just test to make sure it's all working. So actually, this multimeter is actually integrated with my network. So there we go. There's our reading here. So just my test leads themselves are around 0.0 to 0.1. So you're always going to have some resistance from your leads. So that gives us an idea. So we are going to go through and test these. So if this is on your printer, you're going to do the same test we're doing here. And you can also check the ground to your chassis. Now, because the printer power supply connects to the chassis through some screws, it's going to add some resistance. Now, you also have the anodizing on the aluminum can also add some resistance. So when you test that, kind of put the end of your multimeter, that's why they're pointed. So that way you can go ahead and push them through that anodizing. So I am a Louis Rossmann fanboy. I've been watching a lot of his videos. He's awesome. So if you guys haven't seen Louis Rossmann, you should go watch him. So, and tonight we are fueled by balls. I pretty much run on caffeine. So balls. I love some balls in my mouth. So let's go over this. So you have we have Meanwell power supplies here. We sell these in our shop. We have them for each printer model, 24, 12 volt. These are really good power supplies, okay? These are like the industry standard for PSUs. I think this one's been floating around. I think I got a piece of wire in there. But anyways, this one floats around for testing. These are great power supplies. These are absolutely awesome power supplies. This is what the Ender 5 has, the Ender 3 Pro, the CRX and CR10S Pro, I believe, also have Meanwells. But basically, any reputable printer company is going to put a power supply from Meanwell in theirs. All these other ones that say literally LED power supply, these are garbage. So the reason I have so many Ender 3 power supplies here is because we bought a bunch of them for ABS Farm, and I will not run these on my printers because I don't want to fire on our hands. So, and this is just some other random one. This is actually, I think, a 500 watt, but again, generic as hell. So we're going to test all these. These are all 24 volt ones from the Enders. So we're going to go through and test these, and I'm going to show you guys how to fix if you do have a grounding issue on these, but that is a good stopgap if you don't have the money for the Meanwell. They're $49 on our site for the Meanwells. I saw someone asking. So I'm going to show you guys how to potentially fix these and then test if the fix actually worked. But these have a very high failure rate, so I recommend if you have the money to replace them, whether you get a Meanwell from us or somewhere else, you should ditch these no-name power supplies. These are not, I don't even believe these are UL listed. It's funny because they have an FCC thing on here, but there's no UL certification. So UL is Underwriters Laboratory. It's a product testing and standards company here in the US, and you want UL listed devices. I have heard that some insurance policies for homeowners insurance will not cover damage if it resulted from a device that was not UL listed. So if your printer burns your house down, there's a potential that your insurance company is not going to cover it if they determine that that was the cause of the fire. So that alone is worth the, in my opinion, the $50 to swap my power supply. One, I know my printer is going to be more reliable because this is going to last. And this is going to put out clean power. And two, if something does happen, I don't have to worry about getting screwed because this is not an actual tested unit by Underwriters Laboratories. So, and this also carries, you can look up the spec sheet on them. Just look at Meanwell. They've got a ton of certifications worldwide. They're great power supplies. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to switch over to our small camera here. And you guys will probably just see the back of my head in my little camera here. If you love my wife's motivational shaker cup here, if you put your mind to it, you can achieve anything. Remember that, guys. Live, laugh, love. So, we got our Siglin here. I mean, those of you that care, it's a Siglin SDM 3055. It's like their mid-range bench multimeter. I'm going to go ahead and just make sure that all this is working here. So we got a readout here. Just make sure my leads are all in. So there we go. So we got our continuity. So this is on continuity mode, so it'll make a little beep noise. You may or may not be able to hear it through the microphone, but you can see the readout in the upper left-hand corner of the screen. So we're going to save the Meanwell for last. And what I'm going to do is, you guys, we're gonna test here. And if you look at your power supplies, now this camera's probably not going to focus because Logitech doesn't know how to make autofocus work properly. But this is your power supply input and output connection. So you got your V plus, which is your 12 or 24 volt output, so V plus, V negative. And then you've got these three. There's that little symbol. Most people don't know what that is, but that's your ground symbol. And then your neutral and line. So what we're going to do is we're going to test the resistance from the ground terminal to the chassis of the power supply in multiple locations. Now, ideally, this should be as low as you can go. So assuming my leads have 0.1 ohms of resistance at worst, we want to see 0.1 ideally. We're probably not going to see that even on the Meanwell, but the lower the better. You want it super low, because what happens is if you have too much resistance between ground and the chassis, if for some reason AC power finds its way to your printer's frame or the power supply, or something shorts out internally that sends that power down there, it's going to find ground through your body and kill you. So I could show ripple, but that would involve me finding a cutoff power cord to wire to these, and then I don't have my Rigel scope integrated. I don't even know why this is on. I was setting up the network connection on it. So, but yeah. So anyways, I'm going to start by making sure that this is actually tightened down here. And actually, I'm just going to put this. So we're going to take one of our leads, and I'm just going to secure this under here so we know we have a good connection. Okay. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to screw this down. And we're going to go ahead and measure this. So I'm going to start here. This should be the least amount of resistance because this is part of the frame that the board is screwed into. This is held in with 6 screws. So I'm going to go ahead and touch this to here. And we've got 4.4 ohms, which is real bad. Now if we go here, we got a little more at 4.6. Still more over here. Oh, we're creeping up here. Well, as I push on it, it's changing. Oh. So I'm probably forcing this in. Now, I'm pushing hard on here, 2.4, 2.4. So now you're wondering, okay, like what do I do if I do have this problem? Well, you're going to take out the screws on the side of the power supply. There's 6 of them on this model. And we're going to test all the other ones, so just sit tight. I'm going to show you guys how to fix these. I'm probably not even going to use these, but we're going to see what's going on here. Now, we're also going to visually inspect the PSUs to make sure there's no issues. But maybe I'll use them for LEDs or something. Something less intense that's not inside the house, or just for bench testing. I don't really trust these units, so we're going to take these out. And this will just come off like so. It's kind of a tight fit, but we should have the PSU fan. You can see here, they didn't even take off the protective film, which is going to hurt your grounding. So let's take this off here, because this is an insulator. This was like the coating over the metal before they bent it. So I'm pulling that off there. Now, the screw that actually grounds to the chassis is this one right here behind the screw terminal. You see the one right here by my thumb, right above my thumb? That's the one that actually does the grounding. So to verify that, if I loosen this up, we should theoretically get worse ground. Oh, we aren't getting any now. So I'm going to, I'm going to stick this on here, and we're going to tighten this up. There we go. And now we're at 0.1. So they didn't really tighten this up. So if I go anywhere on the chassis, and I'm going to poke the meter, the lead into this. Look at that. So now we went from 4 ohms roughly to under 1 ohm. So this is a little higher over here, but still a hell of a lot better than we were before. So now if I put this back together, this top cover should actually read pretty decently. Now that I removed that insulation, which was the plastic coating. So I'm going to go ahead and put these 6 screws back in. Well, if I don't drop them and lose them. So, and what this can cause, what we've been noticing a higher than normal amount of issues with our ABL kits with the under 3, and because they're proximity sensors, they can be sensitive to electrical interference, even though they have a ground shield on the cable. But the ground shield doesn't help if it has nowhere to go. So because the printers are not grounded and it's just floating, those electric pixies have nowhere to go. And it's funny because some people will report, well, the sensor works as long as I'm touching the printer. Well, that's because the electric pixies are finding a way to get to ground through your body. And if that was a higher voltage, then it would be honestly very dangerous, because it's going to ground out to earth through your body, aka electrocuting you. So this is one of the pitfalls of these Chinese power supplies that are no-name power supplies. They have no regulatory certifications. I'd be really surprised if I looked up on the FCC, because this has an FCC logo, and the CE just stands for Chinese export. I'd be really surprised if this model is actually certified. So let's see what we're doing here. And we're looking a lot better. We were at 4 before. We're at 0.7. I'm just going to push my lead in there. 0.6. 0.7. So it's not good, but it's better than we were before. So let's play a little game here now. I haven't tested these other PSUs sitting here. So if someone can guess within 1 ohm of the resistance that they are, I will give you a $5 gift card code for the shop. So let's play Chinese roulette here. Let's see how long or how close you guys are going to be. I'm just tightening up these terminals, and we're going to test each PSU and see. Let's see who guesses what the closest grounding ohms are. If you're within 1 ohm, the first person, I'll go back and look. So if some, don't guess the same number. So if someone already guessed 5, guess something else. So, all right. All right, I'm going to type stop in the chat here. Okay, we're going to give it a couple more seconds here. Someone already guessed 5, so I'm going to go back and see who said it first. Okay, there we go. Where I type stop, I'm not taking any other ones. So let's go ahead and read this here. Oh, man.
Danger zone!
Yeah. I guess you could say it's because it's made in
China.
That's bad. That's really bad. So I guess no one's a winner here because this is man. Let's see if they even put that screw in. So no one won a gift card there. Holy crap. Look at this, screw is stripped out. Like, it's just spinning here. Like, however installed this at the factory just stripped the crap out of this. No, we're going to do this. We got 5 more power supplies. Tim did not know because I never even powered these units up because I don't use them. We do not use the stock. There's only 2 printers right now that have stock power supplies, and they're not in our fleet. There's Ender 4, which I'm going to put this Meanwell on. And then there's our Ender 3, which I'm going to do a video on power draw comparison of the Meanwell versus the stock one. So not only just highlighting safety, but power efficiency. So, all right. Riley, it was 0. It's completely open. There's no grounding on this. All right. So the screw is there. So they didn't leave the screw out. I'm going to go ahead and just tighten this screw up here. Oh, it's it's pretty loose. All right. All right. I just tightened the crap out of that. Let's go ahead and retest. Yep. There we go. That was completely open ground. Like, and now it's reading pretty damn good now. 0.1. So, go ahead and... I was going to say if somebody wants these, I would ship them to them, but honestly, I don't want the liability of these power supplies. So, they're just going to sit in a pile, and if I have a crappy project that doesn't need a decent power supply that's not going to be used all the time, I'll use one of these for it. But look, these are already stripped out. Like, come pre-stripped, or that's just a quick insert. So, I think that's just a new feature from
China.
There we go. So, I mean, if you thought that these were good power supplies, you're just plain
wrong.
There we go. Well, there's no vibration. This came off of a new printer. This just kind of sat around for a while. Like, this was a new Ender 3 PSU. It's just scratched up because it's been floating around on my desk for a while, and then it was out in the shop for a little bit, so probably a couple weeks. Yeah. So they don't get a pass on that one. So there we go. All right. Let's go ahead and get our guesses in for power supply number 3. Let's see here. I wish I had a soundboard for, like, I don't know. Go ahead and put your stuff in. Let me see. Can I do this? Like... All right, let's stop that. I don't need to get a takedown here. That would be bad. So, all right. We're going to go ahead and we're going to stop. All right, so stop. Bam. All right, so everything Before that, we are not taking. So let's see what we got here. Let me make sure our terminals are tightened up. So you can see these were in a PSU, which is why they're loose. Or they were in a printer. That's why they're loose. But I'm going to go ahead and tighten these down now. Just so these don't come out at any point. All right. So what do we got here? How bad is this going to be? We're going to call it 1.4. There we go. 1.4. So does somebody guess who would be the closest? Let's see. All right. So grounds are optional. Okay, so 1.4. 2.3 is pretty close. Or 0.8. But Tor, you don't count. You can't win stuff. You work for us. I'm going to go with, unless there's a closer one, 2.3 is the closest. You're 0.9 off. 1.4 or 0.9 off. Let's see. There's a 2. That's 0.6 off. I think Howard Perkins is the closest. Unless I'm wrong. Yeah. So Howard Perkins, shoot me an email to tim@th3D Studio. Put it right here. And put the subject as 5. Actually, how could I get your... Yeah. So just send me an email to tim@th3dstudio.com. Howard Perkins. I'm going to screenshot this here. There we go. A little old screenshot. All right. So, do we want to... I'm not even going to fix these. We're just going to go through and test because I don't even care. These are not going to go in printers. So, let me see here. Where's my Stream Deck software? So, I mean, this is a pretty fun game. I'm just saying. Let me see if I can add my Jeopardy music to my soundbar. Waiting jingle. Do. All right, let's see here. Jeopardy, MP3. Let's move this. And go ahead and put in your next guesses. You got until the chime is up. Once the chime's up, we will no longer accept any more guesses. All right. So, let's see what we got on this next one. Oh, let me tighten this up because it's not fair to test the ground if the screw terminal's loose. Oh, snap. This one's actually decent. Look at that. 0.1. So, Tor, who is the closest? This one's actually grounded correctly. Imagine that. This one's looking pretty beat up, too. It's got some scratches and stuff on it. Tor, who is the closest? Can you keep track of who's the closest? Scott, you're a little late to the party. While Tor figures out who is the closest to 0.1, so 0. I don't know how high we are now. I don't know the upper limits. I would hope to God that these are at least under 10 ohms. I'm just gonna make sure these are all tightened up here. Riley Purr, is Riley Purr the closest? Basically, unless someone guessed 0.1 or 0. If someone said, yeah, 0 or 0.1 or 0.2, I'm looking. Yeah, D3 is the closest. So D3, shoot me an email to tim@th3dstudio.com, and I will send you a $5 off code for the shop. I'm just going to screenshot that there. All right. Well, no, 0 resistance would mean that it's completely closed. But remember, our test leads have up to 0.1 of resistance. I got to get new ones. Howard, I got your email. Thank you. All right. So let's go ahead and get our next guesses in. Now I got to account for the stream delay, so I'm going to give it a couple seconds here. We should only have 5 seconds of stream delay. And stop. How about this? So for the next one, because we got 2 more. Tor, since you are watching remotely. Okay, so Tor, did you type stop when you heard the jingle stop playing? I just need to know. Because if you are, then I'm going to have you type stop because you're on the receiving end. You're on the receiving end of the stream, so that would be the ideal thing. Okay, so we're going to take everything from Tor up. So Blazeby RC 3D, all right. Let's check our... Is this the one we just did? I'm pretty sure this is the one we just did. Yeah, it is. Okay. Bam. Let's go with the orange cover one. Let's see here. All right. Drum roll, please. And we're going to go with, let's say 1.7. So, not terrible, but not good. That means that screw is still loose. Bam. So, let's figure out. So, Tor, here's what I'm going to do. You go through and figure out who it is, and then, let's see. 1.7 was it? Let's see. Who's closest to 1.7? I got Christopher at 1.75. We got to beat 1.7. I think 1.75 is the closest, actually. Yeah, Christopher, go ahead. Email me, tim@th3stew.com. I will send you a $5 gift card for the shop. It's just a code you enter in at checkout, and it'll take $5 off anything in the store. I feel like such a salesman. I think it's the jingle. It's got me feeling like I'm a TV announcer. All right, this is the last one for the night. And then we'll go ahead and test the meanwhile. And let's go. Just watch I get a copy strike from this. I think this is fair use. I guess we'll find out, won't we? I don't know. Am I getting copyright struck by YouTube right now? We'll see. I'm not sure. I'm going to go to our streaming page here and see if it's like copyrighted content found. Let's see. I'm going to check and see. I don't see anything. Maybe the YouTube gods will not... Okay. Maybe YouTube gods will stop here. All right. So, let me make sure the ground is tightened okay. Yeah. All right. Let's see here. All right. Oh, shit. Oh. If you use this on your printer, that would definitely put you in the...
Danger zone!
And this is definitely made in...
China.
There we go. That's so bad. Yeah, that's such a shocking result. Yeah, that's bad. So we had the highest number there. All right, was that hero? 4.5. You are way off. Man. That is... There we go. We got a tower of power supplies. I'll tell you guys what. If you guys are going to be at Murph, I will have you sign a waiver. You can take all these crappy power supplies off my hands. I will throw them in my car, and somebody can have all these crap power supplies because they're just going to sit here collecting dust. So if you're going to be at Murph and you want these hunks of crap, you can go ahead. One of the screws just fell out of one of them, I think, because I just heard a screw hit the floor. Yep, there's... Anyways, I don't want them. You guys can take them. I can't justify throwing them out. They're fine for crap projects that aren't going to be on all the time. So, yeah, that was bad. Time just comes in 1.8. You're a little late, little slow on the draw there. Oh yeah, I totally forgot. So let's see here. Let's go back and let's see what the meanwhile. I have such confidence in it that I don't think this is going to be a problem. I'm going to say it's probably like 0.1, 0.2. Let's see here. Let's go on the ground terminal. So let me just make sure you can see that there. There we go. Good old meanwhile. Yep. We're not guessing on this one, guys, because I knew this one. Look at that. Yeah. So Now here, I am going to show you guys this so you can see how sparse. Oh, this is a really hefty warranty sticker. But I mean, the thing is, like, this thin PSU, which is half the height of the other ones, this one actually weighs a little bit more. So these are good power supplies. I highly recommend them. If you can't get them, or you don't want to get them from us, I don't care. Just do yourself a favor and buy yourself a power supply that's not going to cause you problems, whether it's your safety or your printer's longevity down the road. Just buy a proper power supply. If your printer doesn't come with a mean well, it's a worthwhile investment just for the longevity of your printer, not even from a safety aspect, to have a good power supply. I'm assuming they make them so slim because they're actually using quality components, whereas these have to use cheaper, larger components to do almost the same thing. Webnut Mark won the last one. Webnut Mark, if you're still in here, please send me an email to tim@th3dstudio.com. Since I don't have a way to contact you guys, make sure you email me. And if for some reason I get some guy just sending me an email. All right, I got Christopher. There we go. I got yours. Okay. But the point is, guys, this is like, these printers are great. It's awesome that we're getting cheap printers out of China that do just awesome stuff. Regardless if you have to put some money into them to get them to work right. But this is dangerous, especially that one with 220 ohms. That is going to help you in the event of what grounding should do, which is if your power goes, you know, if it's connected to where it shouldn't be, aka your chassis or the PSU or something fries in there, it's supposed to send to ground so that way it doesn't go through your body to get to ground. And if you don't have a proper ground on your power supply, it's going to cause issues, you know, safety wise. And if you have sensors on there, or even just in general for electrical noise, that's what the ground's for. It drains it drains the EMI out through the ground wire, so it's not floating around in your printer just sitting there. So that's it. This is a pretty quick stream tonight. Maybe even the shortest stream I've done. I don't have too much other stuff to chat about. I've got a lot to work on. I have a meeting with Marine Valley Community College tomorrow. I'm actually going to be going and speaking on 3D printing and these cheap printers actually at the High Tech Conference in St. Louis. I believe it's in July. But that's what I'm meeting with them on, because we're going to be working with them on an additive manufacturing grant. So something that'll be good. Yeah. So I don't know what it'll mean for us business-wise, but I know they were saying they want us to come and talk, and it'd be some volunteer work, which I'm totally fine with doing, and talk to people about these machines. So I'm not bringing back the damn wreath. It's on the outside of the door. She can put it away. The Ender 3 Dual Z screws, I honestly don't know when we're going to get around to that. I have an Ender 3 Pro sitting downstairs that we're going to do the installation video on, so I also have to get our board into it. The board we're working on, the Tough Controller, so I have a printer with that board in there to actually do physical testing, because right now it's just been all logical testing on the computer. If that wreath is in here, it's going to end up in the trash. It's March. No more Valentine's Day stuff up, especially in my office. So yeah, that's what's going on. I know I have, what else do I have a list on the site? I can just look at my to-do list. So yeah, anyways, well then put the wreath away. Stop derailing my conversation. So anyways, the Ender 3 Dual Z kits, I mean, if you guys want, shoot me a message and I can sell you one. I just don't have the documentation done. We have everything physically done. I just don't have the documentation. So, yeah, just shoot me an email, tim@th3dstudio.com. I think I have like 50 or 60 of them. They're in one of those bins actually, and I got to package them up. So, but I just don't have the documentation done. I don't like releasing products before the documentation is completed. So, anyways, unless you guys have any other questions or whatnot, then yeah, that's gonna be it. I did see red light. Can you get one of them and use it on there too? If you're talking about what are you talking about? I'm not sure what you're referring to. Yeah, I should probably actually call Scott and see what Marlin stuff we need to work on. I'm just going through here. Yeah, oh, the dual Z, the power supply. These are 24 volts. Those will not work on the Ender 2. That's a 12-volt machine. Dual Z, okay. The dual Z belt system for the CR10, I have the parts. I have to test fitment and see if that works. So, anyways, I'm going to wrap this up. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed the little fun game aspect of it, but this is a very serious issue. You should check your power supplies. If it does test very high, open it up and redo that screw, and then once you get some money, go ahead and actually buy a proper power supply like the Meanwhile, because I'm just going to be honest with you. It's not a matter of if your stock power supply fails. It's a matter of when. And they usually go out in a blaze of glory, so you'll get a nice burnt electronics smell. No, we're not coming out with a dual Z for the Ender 2. It does not need it. And that'd be a nightmare. Just buy a new printer. So anyways, everybody take it easy. If you like what we do, go ahead and check out our shop at TH3D2. Can't talk tonight. If you like what we do, go ahead and check out our shop at th3dstudio.com. And yeah, that's how we do these streams. That's what allows me to allocate some time. And I love sharing information with you guys. I just figured this was something that would be very helpful to know, considering we've seen a lot of issues with power supplies, and it seems like it's a common theme because it's starting to pop up in other groups. So anyways, everybody, thanks for watching, and happy printing.